Thiruchitrambalam எடுக்கும் மாக்கதை இந்தமிழ்ச் செய்யுளாய் நடக்கும் மேன்மை நமக்கருள் செய்திட கடக்கை ஐந்துடை தாழ் செவினில் முடி கடக்களிற்றை கருத்துள்ளிருத்துவாம் உலகலாம் உணர்ந்து ஓதற்கரியவன் நிலவுலாவிய நிர்மலி வேணியன் அலகில் சோதியன் அம்பலத்து ஆடுவான் மலர் சிலம்படி வாழ்த்தி வணங்குவாம் சைவத்தின் மேற்சமயம் வேரிலை அதில் சார் சிவமாம் தெய்வத்தின் மேற் தெய்வம் இல்லனும் நான்மறை செம்பொருள் வாய்மை வைத்த சீர் திருத்தேவாரமும் திருவாசகமும் உய்வை தரச் செய்த நால்வர் பொற்றாள் எம்முயிர் துணையே தில்லை வாழந்தனரை முதலாக சீர்படைத்த தொல்லையதாம் திருத்தொண்ட தொகைடியார் பதம் போற்றி புலையவர் புராண கதை உலகறிய விரித்துரைத்த செல்வமலி குன்றத்தூர் செக்கிழாரடி போற்றி ஆதாரமாகிய மாணிக்க வாசகர் பாதார விந்தம் மணிவம் பண்டு செய்த தீதான பாவங்கள் எல்லாம் தீர்ந்து ஞானோதயம் Thiruchitrambalam. Welcome back to the Periyapuranam Discourse series, dear devotees. With the blessings of the Almighty Lord Shiva, we are here to think through the wonderful history of Shri Cheraman Perumal nayanar, Kazharitrarivar nayanar. Let me bow my head to the lotus feet of Deva Chekla and also to the 57th Pontiff of Gunamati Kalyanapuriyadina, Sri Guruma Sannidhanam, Sri Rajasavanam Manikavasa Swami as well. By the grace of the Almighty Lord Shiva, let's go ahead and get started with Shri Kazharitrarivar Puranam. So today is the second part of the Puranam. Last week we had covered until Panabhatra Nayanar history, and today we're going to continue further. I think I'm expecting to have another two parts of this to complete the Kazharitrarivar Puranam. So Nayanar was very excited to have the letter from the Lord of Thirualavai Madurai, Somasundareshwarar. Then Nayanar gifted Panabhatra with lots of many rich gifts. Then Panabhatra went back to Madurai. So Cheraman Perumal Nayanar was thinking of the grace of Lord Shiva, because the Lord could have leveraged the king in Pandya kingdom. He did not do that. Instead, the Lord sent the letter to Cheraman Perumal nayanar. So he was thinking about that all the time. And one day, King Cheraman Perumal nayanar was doing Shiva Puja as usual. He completed everything pretty close to Sunday Nayanar Puja, but he could not hear the sound of ankle. He could not hear the sound of the ankle that he usually hears every day. So Nayanar became a bit sad. He had no idea what was the reason for the unusual silence of the Lord. And then he decided to end his life, his own life, for any fault that he might have committed. Of course, he has not done any fault, but still, if I don't hear the sound of the ankle, then that means something went wrong in my puja. Shiva was not happy. That's why he didn't give me the sound of the ankle. Then he took the knife. He was about to kill himself, saying, "Asai udambal matchini adayim veri inbam yadu." That's the phrase of Periyapuranam. Asai udambal matchini adayim inbam veri yadu. That means, what else am I going to get through this body if I can't even get the sound of Shiva's ankle? So here we get to the message here is the only pleasure that we can get through this body is by worshipping the Lord Shiva. Shivanubhava should be the ultimate pleasure we should be aiming for. If we are not even going to get that, then what's the point of holding this body? So he was about to kill himself. Then the Lord went ahead and gave the usual sound of ankle. Then Nayanar was happy, but still Nayanar wanted to understand what was the reason for the delay, whether he made some mistakes so that he would not repeat that in future. So he made a humble request to the Lord, "My Lord, why did you delay to give me the sound? Is it because just you didn't want me to end my life? Um, is that the reason you just gave me the sound, or did I make any mistake, or what was the reason? Then the Lord said, you have not made any fault in your puja. It's great as always. But another devotee of mine, his name is Vandondan Sundaran, he came to Ponnambalam in Chidambaram, and he was singing a wonderful padigam in sweet Tamil language. So I forgot myself listening to it. That's why it took that's why it got delayed. It took some more time to realize, so I had to give the sound to Cheraman as well. So literally, the Lord said he forgot to give the sound of ankle to Cheraman Perumal nayanar as he was listening to Sundaramurti Swami Tirupati. So two things Swami, the Lord highlights us for us here in Periyapuranam. Number one, the significance of Padigam, Devaram. The Lord loves to hear Tripadikam. If we recite Padigam, He would listen to that. And He will bless us. That's number one. Number two is the Lord would like to introduce Sundaramurti Swamigal to King Cheraman, because He will make both of them best friends. Both of them are going to go to Kailash together. So, two goals accomplished. Then the moment he heard that, King Cheraman Perumal nayanar got very excited. Then he made two decisions right away. He decided to go to Thiruchitrambalam first to worship the Lord of Dance, Natarajar. And then he wished to meet Sri Sundaramurti Swamigal, introduced by the Lord Natarajar himself. Those are the two main goals. Then he decided to do a pilgrimage. He immediately placed an order. All the for the ministers, all of them got gathered. Then he said, "I'm gonna do a pilgrimage to Chola's country, and I would like you to take care of the country until I'm back." So he entrusted the kingdom with the senior most ministers. Then he started the pilgrimage. Cheraman Perumal nayanar first went to Chidambaram. When he reached the border of Chidambaram, he fell down on the earth and he paid his obeisance to the border of the Chidambaram. In Periyapuranam it says, Arivin Ellayagiya Thillai. Jnana. Ariv means jnana. And the knowledge, the spiritual wisdom. The Chidambaram is the end of the spiritual wisdom. So he paid respect to the border. Swamigal, Sundaramurti Swamigal, Upper Swamigal, all of them did the same thing. Cheraman Perumal nayanar also did the same thing. Then the king was given a very warm welcome by Thilaival Andanargal, the priest of Thiruchitrambalam, the Dikshitas. And then Cheraman Perumal nayanar had a great darshan of the Lord that he was doing puja every day. Here, Cheraman Perumal nayanar composed a wonderful Tirupadigam called Ponvanna Tandadi. Ponvanna Tandadi, 100 songs. He composed a massive like a mala. The beginning, the first letter of the song will be finishing the entire padigam with the same letter. That's called Andadi. He sang Ponvanna Tandadi right in front of Rajar in Chidambaram, Kanagasapai. And when Nayanar finished the padigam, he got the same ankle sound in Thiruchitrambalam itself. He was so blessed to hear that. And then Nayanar paid his obeisance and then came around the temple. Then he continued his pilgrimage to Thonipuram, Thoniyapur, where the great Saint Thiruchitrambalam Swami was born. He had a great darshan, and then he headed to Thiruvar because that's his second name. He he made two decisions. First one was to worship the Lord Nataraja, which he did. Second one is to meet and surrender himself to Sundaramurti Swamigal. So he went to Tiruvarur. Then the message went to Sundaramurti Swamigal. Both of them came together, met each other. They paid their obeisance to each other and embraced each other. Then the devotees of Sundaramurti Swamigal and devotees of King Cheraman Perumal started praising Sundaramurti Swamigal as the friend of Cheraman. Sundaramurti Swamigal is a friend of the Lord, friend of Lord Shiva himself. And there is another friend who's none other than Cheraman Perumal. So both of them became very good friends. Sundarar sees Cheraman Perumal as his friends, but Cheraman Perumal sees Sundarar as his guru. That's a difference we need to understand. Cheraman Perumal never treated Sundarar as his friend. He always kept him as his guru. That's Sthana, Guru's Acharya Sthana. He always kept that. But Sundaramurti Swamigal saw him as his friend. And he never treated him as a student or even a follower. So both of them went to temple together, Tiruvarur temple, and Cheraman Perumal composed another wonderful padigam, Tiruvarur Mummuni Kovai, right in front of Tiruvarur Vanmiganatha Swami. It was a wonderful padigam. So King Cheraman Perumal composed 3 padigams so far. First one, Ponvannathandari in Thiruchitrambalam. The second one here in Tiruvarur Mummuni Kovai. Third one, we will finally cover that at the end of Periyapuranam in Velanicherukam, Thirukkailai Gnanavulam. We will cover that later. So now, King Cheraman Perumal composed Tiruvarur Mummuni Kovai for Tiruvarur Sri Vanmiganatha Swami. Then they had a great worship, went back to Paravayar Malige, the house of Paravayar. Sundaramurti Swamigal asked Paravayar Thayar to organize a grand feast for his best friend and King Cheraman Perumal. Paravayar Thayar organized a wonderful feast. They enjoyed it. Cheraman Perumal was a bit hesitant to sit along with Sundaramurti Swamigal, but Sundaramurti Swamigal compelled him to sit along with them. They had a wonderful feast, and then after, these are the good things we need to learn from Periyapuranam. They had a grand feast. After having food, the Vichakla Swamigal says both Sundaramurti Swamigal and Cheraman Perumal they wore vibhuti right after having food. So it's an important duty of Shiva devotees. Prior to food and after food, we must wear the holy vibhuti on our forehead. So they were enjoying the darshan of Tiruvarur Puchinakonda for some time, and then both of them wanted to go to other holy places in Pandya's country, and they started a pilgrimage. Both Sundaramurti Swamigal and Cheraman Perumal together, they started a pilgrimage, and they went to Keelvelur, close to Tiruvarur. They covered Nagikaranam, Karoneshwarar, where Adipatha Nayanar was born. And then they also went to Maraikadu. In Maraikadu, right in front of the door, which was opened and closed by the great Saint Srinivasamrita Swamigal and Appar Perumal by singing wonderful padigams. They were literally in tears. Both Sundaramurti Swamigal and Cheraman Perumal paid their obeisance to Appar Swamigal and Srinivasamrita Swamigal. It was very wonderfully covered by the Vichakla Swamigal in the Purana. And then they went from Maraikadu, they went to Kodi Kulagar, the wonderful temple, the seashore. In Kodi Kulagar, when Sundaramurti Swamigal went, he could not see anybody close to temple. There was no house, there was nobody. The Lord was all alone. So he felt really, really sad. The Lord is very lone, about the loneliness of the Lord. So he quoted that in his wonderful padigam. It's a great padigam composed in Kolli tune, along with Sundaramurti Swamigal. Let's also sing that song to pay our obeisance to the Lord of Kodikula, Thiruchitrambalam. கடிதாய் கடற்காற்று வந்தற்ற கரைமேல் குடிதான் அயலே இருந்தால் குற்றமாமோ கொடியேன் கண்கள் கண்டன கோடி குளகீர் அடிகேள் உமக்கார் துணையாக இருந்தீரே. Wonderful பதிகம். Sundarami Swami says, there is nobody by your side, you're all alone. And I saw that. Then he was shedding copious tears to see that. So it's the level of love that Sundaramurti Nayanar had for Swami. He could not cope up with the loneliness of Swami. As the temple is all alone, there are no devotees around. Who will be taking care of the temple? That was his worry. And who will be doing garlands? And who will be cleaning the temple? So that was his worry. The reason he's worried about the loneliness is there's nobody to take care of them. And then they continued their pilgrimage further. They reached Tiruputtur in Pandya Nadu. From there, they were heading towards Madurai. When they reached Madurai, the emperor of Pandya, the Pandya emperor, he came down to the border and he welcomed them hotly. At that time, fortunately, the Chola king was also in Madurai, because he got married to Pandya king's daughter. So we have Pandya, the three emperors, Chola, Pandya, and also Cheraman Perumal. The great three emperor met at the same time, and Sundaramurti Swamigal and Cheraman Perumal were given a very warm welcome, and the three kings became very good friends at that time. Prior to that, they were fighting with each other, but during King Cheraman Perumal ruling time, the three emperors became very good friends. They had a great darshan of the Lord of Madurai, Somasundareshwarar, and especially for Cheraman Perumal. You may remember in the previous session we discussed the Lord Somasundareshwarar gave him a letter for Panapatra, to give some gift for Panapatra. So Cheraman Perumal remembered that. They recalled the grace of Lord Somasundareshwarar had for him, and then paid his obeisance. And he said, I don't know where it's going to end. படியேறு புகழ்ச்சேரர் பெருமானும் பார்மிசை வீழ்ந்து அடியேனை பொருளாக அளித்த திருமுகக் கருணை முடிவு ஏதென்று அறிந்திலேன். The end of your grace, I don't know where it is going to end. The answer is it will end in Kailash. We will discuss that later. So he was very excited. He paid his obeisance to Lord, and they continued their pilgrimage further to Thirupuvanam. Remember, this pilgrimage was led by Sundaramurti Swamigal, accompanied by three emperors: Cheraman Perumal, Chola emperor, and Pandya emperor. They went to Thirupuvanam, then they had a great darshan of Thirupuvanam. They came back to Madurai, and then they stayed in Madurai for some more time, had a wonderful darshan of Somasundareshwarar, and then they went to Tirupparangundram, one of the Arabadi Vedu, and also Tirupparangundram has got a Devaram from Sundaramurti Swamigal. So in Tirupparangundram, Sundaramurti Swamigal composed wonderful Tirupadiyam. Let's also sing along with Sundaramurti Swamigal to pay our obeisance to the Lord. Thiruchitrambalam. கோத்திட்டையும் கோவலும் கோயில் கொண்டீரும்மை கொண்டுழல்கின்றதோர் கொல்லை சில்லை சேத்திட்டு குத்தி தெருவே திரியும் சில்பூதமும் நீரும் திசை திசையன சோத்திட்டு விண்ணோர் பலரும் தொழனும் அரைக்கோவனத்தோடொரு தோல் புடை சூழ்ந்து ஆர்த்திட்டதும் பாம்பு கை கொண்டதும் பாம்பு அடிகேள் உமக்காட் செய்ய அஞ்சுதுமே. Thiruchitrambalam, wonderful poem composed in Indralam tune. So here Sundaramurti Swamigal emphasized um, emphasized the emphasized that it's not that easy to worship the Lord Shiva. Then the kings, the king just fell at when he finished this padigam, both kings fell at his lotus feet and paid their respect to Sundaramurti Swami. So Sundaramurti Swami had a great darshan of Tirupurangundram Lord, and then the kings went back to Madurai. Both Sundarar and Cheraman Perumal continued their pilgrimage further to other holy places in Pantinadu. They went to Kutralam, had a great darshan of Kurumbalanadar and also Tirunelveli Swami Nilayapar. Then they went to Rameshwaram, where Lord Rama worshipped Ramanatha Swami. Had a great darshan there. From there, Sundaramurti Swami also composed a padigam for Thiruchitrambalam, which is located in Sri Lanka. So from Rameshwaram, Sundaramurti Swami will compose his padigam for Thiruchitrambalam. And now, both of them, Sundaramurti Swami and Cheraman Perumal came to Tiruchuliyal, another wonderful temple in Pandya's country. They had a great darshan there, and they were staying in Tiruchuliyal during that day. So, in the dream of Sundaramurti Swami, the Lord came up. Lord Shiva came up, and this time, unlike with Jadamudi, Ganga, snakes, and all that, instead of coming in the usual form, he came in an unusual form. Lord Shiva looked like a young, handsome man, very young, handsome, just like Sundaramurti Swami with crown. He said, "I am from Kanapir," and then he disappeared. Then Sundaramurti Swami got up. Then he shared the dream, what he saw in the dream with Cheraman Perumal. Then they paid their respect to the Lord in Tiruchuliyal. Then they started heading towards Tirukanapir. While on his way to reach Kanapir, Sundaramurti Swami composed soul-touching Tirupadigam in Puranirmai tune. Let's go ahead and sing along with Sundaramurti Swami to pay our obeisance to Shri Kazharitrarivar. Thiruchitrambalam. தொண்டரடி தொழலும் சோதி இளம் பிறையும் சூதனமென் மூலையாள் பாகமும் ஆகி வரும் புண்டரீக பரிசாம் மேனியும் வானவர்கள் பூசல் இட கடல் நஞ்சுண்ட கரு தமரும் கொண்டல் என திகழும் கண்டமும் என் தோளும் கோலனரும் ஜடை மேல் வண்ணமும் கண் குளிர கண்டு தோழ பெறுவது என்று கோலோ அடியேன் கார்வையல் சூழ் காண பேருரை காளையே. Thiruchitrambalam, Kanapir, which is also called as Kalayar Koil right now. And the Lord name here is Kala Ishwarar. And we have 3 Shanadis in that temple. One such a wonderful temple. Sundaramurti Swami went to that temple along with Cheraman Perumal and enjoyed the darshan of Sri Kalayar. Then he continued his pilgrimage to Tirupunavayil, and they also went to Tirupadalicharam, had a great darshan there. Then finally they came back to Tiruvarur. When they came back to Tiruvarur, they went straight to the temple of Sivan Meenada Swami. And then Sundaramurti Swami composed a wonderful padigam, Iraigalodi, saying in Tiruvarur. Then they went back to Paraya's house. And Sundarar and Cheraman Perumal continued to worship Lord Vanvinada Swami every day and having a great time in Tiruvarur. In the meantime, the king, Cheraman Perumal, made a humble request to Sundaramurti Swami. not one time, day in, day out, many times requested that Sundaramurti Swamigal, he would be very blessed to have Sundaramurti Swamigal in Malaynaadu, Kerala, in his country. So he was asking Sundaramurti Swamigal to come down to his country along with them. One fine day, Sundaramurti Swamigal finally accepted that. And he also consulted with his great wife, Parayataya. She was okay with that. Then he said, yes, I would come. Then King got excited. He wanted to celebrate the happiness. King organized a grand feast in Tiruvarur for all Shiva devotees. And on fine day, the troops got ready. All of them gathered. Then they were ready to ready to head to Kodungallur in Kerala. Then they had they went to Tiruvarur temple. Sundaramurti Swami and Cheraman Perumal Nayanar had a great darshan, and then got the blessings of Lord Vanmigana Swami. Then they kicked off their pilgrimage. They went to Kandiyur first, Thiruchitrambalam in Solanadu. They went to Kandiyur, had a great darshan. From Kandiyur, they could see Tiruvaya, the tower, the temple tower of Tiruvayaru. On the other side of the bank, Kaveri in between Kandiyur and Tiruvayaru. So the opposite bank, they could see the tower of Tiruvayaru. There, a wonderful miracle happened. What is that? We will cover that in the next session. Let's end the session for today. Thiruchitrambalam என்றும் இன்பம் பெருகும் இயல்பினால் ஒன்று காதலித்து உள்ளோம் என்கிற மன்றுளாரடியார் அவர் வான்புகழ் நின்றது எங்கும் நிலவி உலகலாம். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். கார்கொண்ட குடை களரிற்றெழுபார் எம்பிரான் சேரமான் பெருமாள் நாயனார் மலடிகள் போற்றி போற்றி. பிரான் ஸ்ரீ சுந்தரமூர்த்தி சுவாமிகள் மலடிகள் போற்றி போற்றி. ஹரஹர நம பார்வதி பதையே. ஹரஹர மகாதேவா. சிற்சபேசா சிவசிதம்பரம் தென்னாருடைய சிவனே போற்றி. என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.